What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a very special episode of the Burnout Brighter podcast, E3 Summer Games Fest edition. We have been talking to a whole bunch of developers, seeing some awesome games, and we're here to tell you about it. The game that we just saw is called Sands of Aura. It's coming from Choshu Entertainment. If you're curious about what kind of game it is, Darren, why don't you tell me?
Oh my lord! Um, out of all the games that we were previewing this week, this was the one that I was most excited for. It is an action RPG, top-down action RPG in
Open
a
world.
open world in a dark fantasy world where the world's been covered in sand and you're going from island to island trying to figure out what's happening. Very customization focused, very melee focused, and it just looks beautiful. I am very excited. It's definitely my kind of game.
Yeah, the game itself, it's very Diablo style with a kind of top-down isometric view as you're running through the levels and killing enemies. They have a lot of inspirations coming from FromSoft, so you'll feel that difficulty as you make your way through.
And
There is
And I want to say the top-down aspect is mostly where the Diablo comparisons stop. I actually want to say on their live stream, they explicitly said that they're trying to not be compared to Diablo because it is not a Diablo game system. Like it doesn't play
no,
like Diablo. It
no,
plays
not at
like
all. Yeah,
closer to like a Dark Souls kind of thing. But it does visually top
Yes.
down. You can see the Diablo comparison.
yeah, you can see the Diablo through that. You also have a ship that you're going to be riding the sand dudes around to go from island to island, where you're going to be making a bunch of choices. They've emphasized that there's going to be a bunch of player choice that's going to impact what you can do. Destiny, tell me a little bit about what you thought about the art, because visually it's a very interesting looking game.
Visually it's beautiful. And I think it's like one main artist who kind of like did most of the entire world, and it's amazing looking, like the reflections, the texture work and on the 3D elements. They look very good. The lighting in the game looks really amazing. So I was very impressed by that. Um, it
It's
really
very
gave me that kind of Dark Souls feel, but like better. I don't know how to say. I don't. But is that mean? I don't know. I just like it looked more polished and
No, I
more
don't think that's mean at
glossy.
all. I think that's fair.
So
I think that's a huge compliment, because like the world does feel very like dark and dour and kind of heavy. Like it looks. I don't mean to use gross as like a in a bad way, but it has like there's bodies lying around or like on the ground covered in blood. Like it very much has that kind of style to its art, to its graphics.
yeah, but yeah, it's really beautiful and like polished looking, less gritty. Even though there's gritty elements, like as you said, the bodies lying around, it looks very nice. Like it's just smooth.
Yeah.
Like
They another thing that they're talking a lot about is their customization. And Darren, as you mentioned in the interview, there is no XP, there is no leveling. The entirety of it is focused on your weapon customization and your ability. So, Darren, can you tell me a little bit about how that works?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, like you said, it's a fully item-based progression system, and their justification for that, I think, was really, really good. A lot of the times in games like Dark Souls, you can kind of get stuck with a build. You dedicate so much of your time and experience points into like making yourself strength-based that once you get like a dexterity-based weapon, you're like, well, crap, I want to use this, but I can't. So by making it an item-based progression, you can always switch up your build. You can always experiment. You can always try new things. And the customization of your weapons is really, really cool. You're basically building your weapons on the fly. It's not a crafting system. It's just you're choosing for the blade, the pommel, the hilt, and like an imbuement of magic. And you're able to customize all four of those things at the same time to create really unique builds. And so there's tons and tons of player customization in that regard.
Can
Yeah,
I
there's
just say
like
something really
yes.
quick? Like, as you were talking about the build, I don't know if you guys noticed, but like, I thought the icons for each different piece that you build for your weapons was like beautifully done. I
Yeah.
don't
Yes.
know if you noticed how like they did the icons and then like the book. I thought that was really well done because it complements the world, even though it's like a completely different style of like what the world looks like. The world is basically 3D, but like they obviously did like really well with their graphics, and the UI looks really nice
And
too.
yeah, that's
Like it's
actually to,
go ahead.
to
Sorry.
follow up on that.
I
Sorry, to is the world is so dark looking, but all the player designs and the character designs are actually quite cute. Like it's a really nice dichotomy.
Yes. It's
Hmm.
very bright and light, and like it's like magical, right? Because there's kind of like a glow to all of the different icons. But I thought that was really well done.
Yeah, something that I really liked from the demo that we saw is they mentioned that a lot of your progression will be tied to exploration. Like after you leave kind of the beginning island, you're free to go to any island that you choose, so you can kind of go and explore. And your progression is tied to your ability. They mentioned that even if you're under leveled for an area and you're getting, your butt kicked over and over again, if you kind of learn how the enemies move and their attacks, you still stand a chance at beating them. It's not like you have to walk away. So like even if you are looking for that kind of challenge, it's there for you. And it lets you play it the way that you want to play it. Darren, tell me a little bit about that first level, because I find it really interesting what they've done with it.
Um, so yeah, the first level looked really, really cool. So it says that for early access, they're planning on making like 4 main islands that you can visit in any order, and there'll be some side islands. And this first island, it's it's uh it's a little bit they're all kind of self-contained, but it's just in kind of like the Dark Souls style fashion. You have lots of different pathways to explore. You've got NPCs to talk to, mysteries to find, and shortcuts and
Shortcuts.
secrets to
Mhm.
unlock. So there's tons
T-
and tons of things to explore. It's very dense.
Tell me more about Starspire.
So yeah, Starspire is supposed to be kind of like your starting island, and this was the other thing that they said they wanted to focus on with this game, which is a scary idea for an indie developer, I know, but they want to have a lot of meaningful choices. And your starting island, Starspire, has a lot of like NPCs to interact with, or you could choose to just not interact with them and ignore it completely, and the game will react in that way as well. So they're definitely trying to make the choices that you make seem very, very meaningful, and they're trying to keep this really wonderful aura of mystery on the whole thing, because the lore as well also seems like really wonderfully dense and really, but like in a good way, dense. It's like very like
Yeah, yeah.
very interesting, and it makes you want to explore it and learn more. There's just they've been working on this game for like what, like 5 years now, and they've
Hmm.
spent a lot of it trying to uh, make the world interesting, and you can really tell.
And something that I found really interesting about when we asked them about kind of meaningful choice, they kind of said they're looking to set it up in one of two ways. Either you have a strong connection to the characters, so you care about whether they die or not, or you care about what happens to them, or they want to incentivize it through great loot. And I mean, like as a game that's very based around the kind of loot that you find and the loot that you can get, I like the idea that they're kind of using that choice to kind of set up that things in one of two ways. Uh, I think the game looks great. I think it looks really, really interesting. The difficulty thing is something that I know Darren's going to enjoy. Destiny probably won't, but for me, I'm square in the middle. If I can figure it out, I'm excited to have fun with it. But I like Destiny that you were so excited about the way that the game looks and the music into it, because I think it does look really, really cool. Um, Closing thoughts, Darren. Hit me with your final thoughts about Sands of Aura.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a game that I would recommend keeping your eye on if you're interested in kind of dark worlds with lots of deep lore, lots of action combat, player customization. I think yeah, I was just really impressed coming off of that demo.
I agree. Destiny, what about you? Final thoughts?
Um, I'm probably gonna watch you guys play it. I mean, I feel like if I try it, like like there's a part in the game where like he died and he had to go all the way to the beginning, and I was like, what? Like, so like I think I'd have more fun watching you guys play than I would play, because I know I would get frustrated very easily.
Mhm.
But that being said, that's just because I'm really terrible at those types of games. That is no reflection at all to the game itself.
Mhm.
If I was really good at it, I would enjoy playing it. And you know what? Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll get better. I know I won't get better, but I'll try it.
I believe in you, Destiny.
Thank you.
I'm excited for it too. I think graphically it looks interesting. I think the way that the characters combat and everything from the combat and the level of customization looks really, really cool. So go check out Sands of Aura. As we've been saying, Destiny, what should you do?
Put it on your wish list. And not only that, you can follow the game's progress from Steam. So
Yeah.
follow them, put it on your wish list, and tell other people about the game. Also, follow us. Tell other
Yeah.
people about us.
Yeah. We also have plans to bring these devs onto the podcast as well. So get ready for that. Keep it locked here. We have so much more content coming. Lots of post shows, lots of developer interviews, and lots of things coming very, very soon. So like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your dog, tell your dog's friends, tell everybody. But for Team Burnout, peace out.
Deuces.
Later.